The best part about the Trump-Elon Musk civil war isn't just that it pits the two worst people in our country against each other to fight it out in a totally humiliating public spectacle, but it also creates chaos within Donald Trump's administration, not just because Elon is going after the people closest to him, but Elon's relationship to Donald Trump's top advisors and cabinet officials is leading to Trump turning on them, which is what is currently happening with Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. A new leak is revealing Donald Trump is furious with Pete, and it could all come to a head very soon. We are going to get into it all, but before we do, if I could quickly ask you to leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, to hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way, and it really does mean a lot to me. Now, before we can get into this terrible breaking news for Pete Hegseth, we need a bit of context from Lawrence O'Donnell with the latest updates from the Trump-Musk civil war, and we can see that right here.
Elon Musk said yes to a follower of his who said, President versus Elon, who wins? My money's on Elon. Trump should be impeached and J.D. Vance should replace him. Yes, said Elon Musk to that. Impeach Donald Trump. And so they have both fired their biggest shots at each other. The question for Donald Trump, who spent the last 3 days in fearful silence about Elon Musk, is, can he crush the richest person in the world? Or should he beg for a truce with Elon Musk? The Epstein files are, of course, the criminal investigative files on Donald Trump's old friend, the pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, who killed himself in prison. Twitter is now filled with the video of that dancing friendship with that pedophile, thanks to Elon Musk pushing the video of the Trump-Epstein friendship on Twitter. You can expect to see more and more of that on Twitter. And so we have no idea what's coming next. We have no idea what happens tomorrow. But we do know that Donald Trump will be humiliated, and we do know that Elon Musk will continue to suffer huge financial losses, as he did today with the Tesla stock price crashing, losing $152 billion in market value, thanks to Elon Musk's madness today, which will win him no fans among good and decent people who oppose Donald Trump and who will never buy a Tesla again, because they will never forget what Elon Musk did with the money that they paid him for their Teslas. They will never forget what Elon Musk did during his worship Donald Trump period. Good and decent people will never forget Bill Gates' description of Elon Musk as the world's richest man killing the world's poorest children.
So obviously and clearly and so excitingly, things are terrible for Trump and Musk. But again, it is not just about them. It is about the collateral damage around them. And someone who is really facing that down right now is Pete Hegseth, because you might remember he took a special little liking to Elon Musk a couple of months ago when he was happily willing to share some of the most top secret war plans with him. And it is what is leading to this new reporting about the Trump-Hegseth relationship. So before we can get into that breaking article, we need a bit of context from a little bit ago from Rachel Maddow right here.
Story. The headline is Musk, meaning Elon Musk, set to get access to top secret U.S. plan for potential war with China. The lead is this: the Pentagon is scheduled tomorrow, Friday, to brief Elon Musk on the U.S. military's plan for any war that might break out with China. One official confirming to the Times that Musk is to be at the Pentagon on Friday, but offering no details. Mr. Musk, of course, has extensive financial interests in China, and so this, I think, is raising lots of alarm bells for a lot of different people.
So we had to start with that context, because if you remember when that New York Times article came out, the next day we had Trump, we had Hegseth, Elon, all in the Oval Office saying, no, this is an absolute lie. And of course, their lie that it was a lie was the actual lie. Of course, Pete Hegseth was willing to share our top secret war plans with Elon Musk. He was willing to share them with everyone as long as they had a Signal account. And so Donald Trump was furious, and new reporting details just how bad it is and just how bad it is about to get for Pete Hegseth now that this civil war is broken out. A new article from the Daily Beast titled "Trump Soured on Hegseth After Musk Pentagon Invite, Crazy and Stupid." Donald Trump was livid after he learned that Pete Hegseth had invited Elon Musk for an exclusive briefing at the Pentagon, according to a new report in The Atlantic. The meeting made headlines in March when the New York Times reported that the defense secretary would brief Musk on plans for a potential war with China, where the world's richest man conducts significant business. Publicly, Musk, Hegseth, and Trump were united in their dismissal of the story. The president called it fake news and claimed that China was never intended to be discussed in the briefing. Behind closed doors, however, Trump was upset that Hegseth extended the invitation at all. When he learned about the briefing the night before it was set to happen, the president called Hegseth, insiders told The Atlantic. Trump told him that the briefing was a bad look for the administration. In an in-person conversation the following day, Trump reiterated his displeasure to Hegseth. "This is crazy and stupid," the president said, according to the insiders. "Why would you even do this?" Trump acknowledged publicly at the time that Musk should not receive Pentagon intel on China due to his interests in the region. "I certainly wouldn't want, Elon as business in China, and he would be susceptible perhaps to that," he told reporters at the White House, but it was such a fake story. The moment marked a turning point in Hegseth's tenure at the Pentagon and in his relationship with Trump. That Hegseth had the briefing take place in the tank, a story Pentagon conference room where top officials meet with the president, only added insult to injury, The Atlantic reported. Up until then, the Department of Defense had been the golden child, the person close to Hegseth's office told The Atlantic, but afterwards Hegseth began to spiral. Not long after, the defense secretary became wrapped up in Signalgate when he shared operational attack details on a group chat that included The Atlantic's editor-in-chief. So, Petey Hegseth, Mr. GNT, Mr. Put Him Back, is buddies with Elon, and Donald Trump is clearly not happy about that. And I'm not surprised that these leaks are coming out now. I suspect everyone who was around Pete Hegseth, who knows how close his relationship is to Elon, who is no longer around Pete Hegseth because he has fired almost all of his staff, will happily be sharing all of this information. And what's it going to do to Donald Trump? It is going to drive him absolutely crazy. And that is kind of the purpose, I think, of what is going to happen over the next couple of days. Elon is going to be attacking Trump for the people closest to him. He's going to try to create divides with him and J.D. Vance. We already saw that when he called for the 25th Amendment, when he called for his impeachment. Now he's going to try to create this divide probably between Hegseth and Trump as well. So could Pete's head be on the chopping block as Trump rages over Elon? I don't know. But that's what we expect to see in the coming days, weeks, months, I don't know, next year as this civil war unfolds. Elon is probably going to be doing everything he possibly can to undermine Donald Trump. And although I believe Elon to be one of the most detestable figures, not just in America or the world, but in the history of the world, I do think that this will be a lot of fun, and I really, really am going to enjoy it. And I'm also going to enjoy Elon getting mocked for the failure that he is. And we saw Rep. Stansbury do that just yesterday in a clip I want to take a look at right here.
Madam Chairwoman, before we get started, I want to take a moment to observe that this very subcommittee was created in January to act as the congressional tip of the spear for DOGE and Elon Musk's efforts inside the federal government, which our GOP colleagues were falling all over themselves to get in on the action. And in fact, I don't know if you know this, Madam Chairwoman, but one of your own GOP members who couldn't get on the committee actually contacted me to see if I could help because they were so desperate to participate in this activity. But here we are. I feel like we should play a breakup song in the midst of the breakup of the GOP with Elon Musk and DOGE, and yet still the zombie lurches on. And I think it's interesting that people are barely saying his name in these halls, and this subcommittee barely has any credibility at this point. And Elon Musk still hasn't appeared under oath in front of this committee or anybody here in Congress. And in fact, Donald Trump himself apparently asked his own aides this week if DOGE was, and I quote the president, bullshit. Donald Trump asked if DOGE was bullshit. Meanwhile, Our friend, Mr. Musk, is going crazy on Twitter. We just checked. He's still going at it. And he literally has been tweet storming the GOP for the last 24 hours. And he says, I'm sorry, but I just can't stand it anymore. This massive, outrageous, pork-filled congressional spending bill is a disgusting abomination. Shame on those who voted for it. You know you did wrong. You know it. And you know what I find interesting about his tweet is that he says, I'm sorry, I just can't stand it anymore. And I think, you know, the American people have been there for the last 3.5 months as they've dismantled the federal government, as Musk and Trump and his friends here have helped lay wake to the federal government, dismantling federal agencies, firing thousands of federal workers, stealing your private data, costing the federal government millions of dollars. And in fact, it appears that they may have actually cost more money than they apparently saved. So it's hard to take any of this seriously or with any credibility. Musk lied about Doge and its savings. The president and the speaker just this morning, once again, lied about the big abomination of the bill and the deficit spending in it. There was a misrepresentation of a witness in this hearing last time. There was lies about the budget, reconciliation, and yes, the Doge package, which was transmitted to Congress yesterday. And I don't think I even need to comment on the wild journey of baseless conspiracy theories that we just heard. So, it's very clear that Doge has made America less safe, less secure, undermined our global and national security, compromised our data privacy, impacted our ability to serve our vulnerable communities, and left the government in total chaos. And yet, many of these Doge brothers have implanted themselves inside of federal agencies and are now answering directly to the West Wing and to the Director of Office of Management and Budget, Mr. Russell Vought, who, by the way, is testifying just across this campus on his bill for the FY26 budget, which would eviscerate these programs. So I want to say, first, they came for our federal agencies. Then they came for our judges and law firms and the rule of law. Then they came for the free press and your freedom of speech. Then they came for higher education and our children. Then they came for congressional offices. And now, here they are, coming for civil society and nonprofit organizations.
Multiple things can be true at once. I can detest Elon while also so much enjoying him attacking Donald Trump. And I can also acknowledge that while Elon's civil war with Donald Trump has produced this great result of catastrophe, that his job at Doge was a complete mess. All these things can exist at the same time as we enjoy the fall of Donald Trump and Elon Musk. Oh, it is so beautiful to watch. Because, by the way, Tesla's down a ton. This is all just great news. I'm having a blast. I hope you are as well. We're going to be covering it all. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video. And if you stuck around to the end, you can drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I'll see you soon.